John McKeag here with JesusChristTrust.net. Now, have you ever noticed, you see that show, The Truman Show? He's in a dome, he finds out the truth. He's the one in there, and everyone around him is an actor. That's basically our reality. But there is a one Truman, there's 7,000. That's the limit. In the Bible, it says 7,000 won't kneel to Baal, Baal. And so that's a power. It also says in the Bible to, once you figure out you have the power over them, don't lord it over them because, you know, you'd be them. You'd be evil like them. So, and our goal is to overcome them, but not be them. You see what I'm saying? We have a separate power. They have the angels, the fallen angels, these fairies, these creatures in here in human form that aren't humans. That are the actors at the carnival, right? Uh, they have they have a power up to a certain point, and then they have to work for us. That's in the Bible too. They were told to serve the humans, and because they didn't do that, they got thrown to earth, and so that's where we find ourselves, and they have to serve the humans. That's us, right? That's the 7,000 in here, and so in this movie, this character Truman, right, the man with the truth, finds out the truth that he's living in this little area that's not that big, physically big, and all these other things. But one scene I want to focus on today, and that's the crossing the street scene where he's like, "Oh my God, all the traffic here is," he's just looked around and he realized, man, all these people are like characters. And so he puts up his hands and just walks through the middle of the street with a whole bunch of traffic. Now, that really struck me, and also all the other things that have happened to me. But I like to test spiritual technology, and I like to put my life on the line, and I like to do it with the name of Jesus Christ. That's it. Because that's the technology that we have. The sword that we have is the name Jesus Christ. Okay, so those people that sign the trust with Jesus, change your affiliation. You can help you at liberty8academy.org, right? You sign the trust, you're not with the In God We Trust anymore. You're not with We Me 33 the devil, right? So they're powerless over you. And they can't harm you. They have to serve you. So, how have I tested this information and turned it into, something that I know for a fact? How do I do that? How have I done that? I go to the beach here, and there's quite often you have to park basically across the street from the there's parking here, and there's a street that goes up and down the island, you know uh, that you have to park across from it and walk across it. They go over to the beach, and so if you go to the beach, you got to cross it and come back to your car. um I go to the beach pretty regularly here. It's close by, it's free, and right now it's not that beautiful because we have red tide, but quite often it's beautiful, as so I go down there. Definitely a few times a week at least. So every time I park a car, and I have to cross that street, and even if I forget something in the car or whatever, every time I cross that street, I don't look to see if a car or a truck's going to run over me. I never look. It's been about a year now, where every single time I cross that street, one way or the other, I do not look both ways. I never do. And I just cross the street. I don't care what noise I hear, what car I hear, nothing matters. I'm going to walk across that street or I'm going to die. You see what I'm saying? And so that's a real way that I've tested that out, you know? Um, and it's breaking your programming is a process. It's not an event where you know the truth. You can learn the truth. I teach the truth, and then you know that's like an intellectual understanding of the truth. Okay, great. But then Nothing changes for you until you act upon it, right? The underlying law of Dharma, also called the common law, uh, once your actions interact with that law that everything lives under, that creates karma, an outcome for you. You see? So it's not just enough to know the truth. You have to act upon it to change your situation. You have to know that you're the one with power here. Guns are fake. You can't be shot. You can't be run into by a car. Like, you sign that trust. You're one of God's servants. No accidents can befall you, period. Everything that happens to you is supposed to happen. And you could go test that. You know, I've focused on the free home stuff because once you realize you're invincible, can't be killed, very powerful, invincible, all that stuff, you see all. I would say I have seen all the millions of homeless population. I just want to transfer that power that is given over the individual to a power over a building that Christ service could be in. That's called a dharmasala, right? In 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 India, as a location, a spiritual location, dharmasala. Anyway, this is about crossing the street. And has anyone else tried similar, patterned experience changing, removing your programming by doing something over and over and over and over again until, you realize that's the truth, until instead of what you've been told? Do you, change your uh, programming, right, to the truth by your chosen actions? And if so, what are they? I'd like for you to, comment on, like, how you've done something similar, maybe to reprogram yourself by experiencing truth on a pattern basis, on a, something you do over and over again. Is there anything you've come to a conclusion of based on, some testing of God's name, right? I'm crossing the street saying Jesus Christ when I cross the street. Let's see if you can kill me. Nothing yet. Are you doing anything like that yourself? And if so, what? I'm curious to hear. Thank you so much. And God bless you in the name of Jesus Christ.